An example, 20 years back. 20 years back somebody said something or did something that I did not like. That means my sanya did not like. My sanya said very bad. And as soon as the sanya said very bad, sankhara reacted, you very bad person. Negativity arose. And I carved an image of this person. Very bad fellow. Very bad fellow. For 20 years I have not seen him. After 20 years, with the interval of 20 years, I see the same person and I start reacting, very bad fellow, very bad fellow. Oh, in 20 years he might have become a saintly person, who knows? And even the first instance, it was only my sanya which said very bad fellow. Actually he might not have been bad, who knows? My own creation. I have carved an image of this person, very bad fellow, very bad fellow. I am reacting to this image, created by me, carved by me. This comes between the reality of this person and my reaction, this comes in between, and I am reacting to this. Similarly, another example, 20 years back somebody said something or did something which I liked, that means my sanya liked, wonderful. And the evaluation was given, wonderful person, a thorough gentleman, what a saintly person, saintly person. 20 years I have not seen him. With the interval of 20 years I see, that image comes. Thorough gentleman. He might have become a devil. During these 20 years, he might have changed so much. And who knows, in the first instant he might have been a devil. Only my sanya said, a very thorough gentleman, very good gentleman. I am reacting to my own images. That reality will become clearer and clearer if you start examining how your four parts of the mind are working, how the interaction of the body, the material structure, interaction is going on, and all that will become so clear if you just observe objectively, objectively, objectively. Same person, same object, seen by 5 different persons. 5 different persons are good, 5 different images of the same person. They are reacting to their own images, not to this person. Even the same object, it comes to me, in contact with my sense door, eyes or ears or anywhere. 5 different times, the same object, and yet I react in 5 different ways, the same object. Say certain words come to my ear. 5 times, same words have come and I have reacted in 5 different ways. If I am a good Vipassana meditator, it will become so clear. An example is example. No reality in it, just example. One evening I am walking with 5 of my students. It's evening, little dark. On the footpath somebody is lying there, and one of my students hits this person, kicks this person, and this person shouts, "Are you blind? You got eyes or buttonholes?" These words come to my ear. And I find a wonderful sensation in my body. Very pleasant sensation, a flow of very pleasant sensation. Somebody is abused. You got eyes or buttonholes? And I am getting a very pleasant sensation. One incident. Second incident, I am going alone. I have hit this person. And he shouts the same language, the same words, the same tone. "Are you blind? You got eyes or buttonholes?" Now I find no pleasant sensation. No pleasant sensation. Unpleasant sensations are there. Third incident. Again, example is example. I am going, and with me my 5 students, and again I have hit. And again he has shouted. Same words. "Are you blind? You got eyes or buttonholes?" And I find the unpleasant sensation is more severe than last time. Same words, but yet such difference. Fourth time, just an example. Again, I am walking. I have hit the person. Again, the same tone he has shouted. "Are you blind? You got eyes or buttonholes?" And suddenly I realize these are the words of my son. My son abusing me. "Are you blind? You got eyes or buttonholes?" Oh, the sensation becomes so unpleasant. So unpleasant. Fifth time. Again, example is example. I am walking with 5 of my students. I have hit this person. He has shouted in the same way. I have recognized my son. Oh, now it is totally unbearable. Unbearable. Why? The same words came to the ears 5 times, and why it is so different? What happens? A good Vipassana meditator will start understanding what happens. The first time when these words came, my sanya says, "Yes, these are words of abuse, but not for you. Not for you." They are for your students. And these students, I keep on teaching them, be aware, walk with mindfulness. And they are so immature. They have not understood anything. Hit somebody and they have to suffer this abuse. I am a Vipassana teacher. I can't make such mistake. Look, this abuse is not for me. It is for my student. And there is a pleasant sensation throughout. As soon as one takes birth and grows and comes to senses, whether one comes to senses or loses senses, who knows, but in the worldly language we say one comes to senses. The first thing one does, carves an image of oneself. I, Goenka. And when I carve my own image, I carve very beautiful Goenka, wonderful Goenka. And I establish this image in the temple of my mind. Wonderful, Goenka is so wonderful. Now first time, when I found that abuse is to my students who are immature, I am a matured person, I am a Vipassana teacher, then this image got some more shiny over it, some more polish. Ah, wonderful. Goenka is so wonderful. He cannot make mistakes. Others make mistakes. Second time, the same abuse, and my sannyasi says, it is for you now, not for your student. There is no student here. And this image that was carved and attachment towards this image, and this image gets shattered. Somebody abusing me? Such a big Vipassana teacher, me? What happened to you? You're not bleeding? You're not dying away? What's wrong? Why you shout? The whole attitude changes now. Very unpleasant sensation starts. And third time again, why it was much more? Because these 5 students who were with me, one keeps on making this madness. One carves one's image and establishes in one's own mind, develops a lot of attachment, that itself is madness. Now another thing that one keeps on doing, establishes a good image of oneself in the minds of others. Every student must know, Goenka is wonderful. Oh look, Goenka is wonderful. And that image, one plays so many dramas and so many things just to establish a good image. These 5 students, I had done so much to establish my good image in the minds of these 5 students. Now all these 5 students, the image is shattered. Previously only one image was shattered. Now 5 images getting shattered. I feel so unhappy, 5 times more unhappy. Somebody abuses me when I am alone. I say, it doesn't matter, he has abused me. But in public with so many people, what makes the difference? Abuse is abuse. Whether you are alone or whether you are with so many other people, because you have put your image in the minds of so many people and now that gets shattered, you are much more unhappy. That becomes clearer and clearer as you go deeper and make an analytical study of the things. Fourth time, why it is more unhappy. The sphere of I increases now. Mine. And you start making images of mine, my son, my daughter, my wife, my husband, my mother, my father, my so. And you carve a beautiful image. And you start developing tremendous amount of attachment. At the apparent level, you keep on fooling yourself. I love my son, I love my wife, I love my husband, I love my mother, I love my father. If you go deeper, you will understand you don't love anybody. At the time of Buddha, the king of the country Pasenjit, he came in contact with Buddha, meditated, became a good Vipassana meditator. And one member of the family becomes good meditator, others slowly get attracted. So the whole family was a Vipassana meditator. His wife Mallika, the queen, she also very good meditator. Both of them meditate in their meditation room in the palace. One day after 1 hour sitting, this king asked the queen, Mallika, tell me, whom do you love the most in the world? And she says, wonderful. The same question came in my mind while I was meditating, and I realized I love myself. I don't love anybody. I don't love anybody. Pasenjit smiled. He said, the same question came to my mind. I examined myself. I found I love only myself. I don't love anybody. Without Vipassana, it would have been totally different. A queen saying to the king that I love only myself, not you. Her head would have been taken off. What kind of queen? But now both are Vipassana meditators, very happy. They went to Buddha and said, sir, in meditation it so happened. Buddha said, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. This is the beginning where you can start rectify yourself. So long as one remains under the delusion that I love so-and-so, I love so-and-so, I love so-and-so, one does not come out of the madness. When one starts realizing, I love myself, oh, look what a self-centered person I am, what a selfish person I am. Whom you say mine, my son, my wife, my husband, etc., you're going to dream. You have certain aspirations, and you want this person to fulfill those dreams. You are dreaming that this person will fulfill my dream, such and such dream, and that's why you are loving. Your love is expecting something in return. And when your love is expecting something in return, you are not loving this person. You are loving yourself, you are loving your own aspirations, you are loving your own dreams. Self-centered love. It doesn't help. Pure love is just one-way traffic you give. You don't expect anything in return, you just give, just give. When a Vipassana meditator starts realizing that, then one starts coming out of this selfishness, this narrow-mindedness. So now what happened in the fourth time? This son of mine, so much dream was taken when he grows, he will be son of a Vipassana teacher, so he will be serving him like anything, and he will be so obedient, and like this and like that. And now my sanya says, these words are from your son, my son abusing me. Ordinary person on the street whom I didn't know, and with whom I had no dreams for future. This person abuses me. I don't like it, but it doesn't have much effect. My son, he abuses me. Oh, it becomes so unbearable. Now fifth time, why it is much more unbearable? Because the same mistake I keep on doing, the image of my son. As I try to establish my image in the minds of others, I try to establish the image of my son, my daughter, my wife, so wonderful. They may have some defect, but I keep on covering that defect. Oh, no, they are so wonderful, so wonderful. Now the images I established in the mind of 5 of my students about my son, those images got shattered. I am 5 times more unhappy. All that will become very clear when you know how to observe your sensation. Something has happened, what kind of sensation? Something has happened, what kind of sensation? This is how Vipassana will help you. Unless you make use of Vipassana in your daily life, then it will become like any other organized religion. One goes to a temple, one goes to a church, one goes to a pagoda, one goes to a mosque, performs this rite, that rite, feels very happy, I am a very religious person, I am a very religious person. It doesn't help in the life. Deluding oneself. If Vipassana is also made that way, I take one course every year, I sit morning and evening, and my duty is over now. Let Buddha do something for me. He will do, because I am doing his job. He told me to do this, I am doing it. Now it is his job to save me from all misery. It doesn't work. It is changing your own habit pattern. Understanding at the depth how you are making yourself miserable. Moment to moment you are creating only misery for you, either craving, either aversion, either craving or aversion, this sensation, that sensation, craving, aversion, a bundle of misery. And by this technique you are coming out of this mad habit, coming out of your misery. A purpose to come to a course like this should not be taken like a rite or a ritual. There must be a purpose for your coming. And the main purpose is that you understand the reality of mind and matter within yourself at the experiential level. And every time you come, you are developing certain qualities in you. And those qualities will help you to reach the final goal of full liberation. In the language of the past, in Buddha's language, there are 10 such good qualities. And when you fulfill those qualities, you reach the final goal easily. They are called parami. Parami is a quality which helps you to cross the ocean of misery and reach the other shore free from all misery. There are 10 paramis, and one gets wonderful opportunity coming to a course like this to develop all the 10 paramis little by little, like your 10 jars, 10 pots. And even if you put one drop in each, drop by drop, a time will come when all these jars will get fulfilled and you reach the final goal. What are these 10 paramis? What are these 10 qualities? Remember them, so that next time you come, you be very careful that you put at least one drop in each jar. More the better. One parami. Nekkhamma parami. A parami of renunciation. One is to renounce the householder's life so that there is no attachment left. Everyone is not prepared to renounce the householder's life. Everyone cannot become a monk or a nun. Then how to develop this parami? And it is an important parami. Then this wonderful opportunity for 10 days, although one has not shaven the head and one has not changed the robes, but for all practical purposes, one lives a life of a monk, one lives a life of a nun. Because in courses like this, you live on the charity of others. Whatever food you take is charity of others. Whatever facility you have is charity of others. And what for one becomes a monk or a nun? There is nothing to say mine, mine, mine. All these paramis are to take you to the stage where entire ego gets dissolved. The final stage of egolessness takes you to the final goal. And with renunciation, one becomes a monk, and with the begging bowl in the hand, ask food from house to house, the ego starts getting dissolved, dissolved. You get a wonderful opportunity here. Initially, when courses were started in India, and for some time here also, when we didn't have our centers, then one mistake was there. We couldn't rectify, and it took time to rectify. Charges were taken from the students, no charges for the teaching, because teaching is so invaluable. What charges can give? What charges can anybody give? But at least for boarding, lodging, the actual expenses, out-of-pocket expenses, we are charged from them.